Hello and welcome to my channel. Please subscribe so you never miss an update. The story begins with a boy named Gabimaru sitting down with his hands tied and about to be beheaded. The spectators who have arranged Gabimaru's execution ask him if he has any last words or wishes, which Gabimaru denies, and the executioner uses his sword to behead him. However, all of them are surprised to see that the sword is cut in half when it touches Gabimaru's neck. Gabimaru himself is confused about why he can't just die when he has no purpose to live for. Cue the scene where a female reporter named Sageri is interviewing Gabimaru about his background. It is revealed that Gabimaru has been learning the techniques of killing people since childhood in his village Iwagakure. While learning these techniques, many people die, but those who survive successfully develop enough body strength to face any circumstances that might lead to death. Gabimaru claims that the executioner who tried to cut his neck was very weak, and there was no way he could have died this morning. He was so weak that Gabimaru didn't even have to perform ninjutsu, a famous killing technique. Saguri asks him to perform ninjutsu, but he doesn't. The next day, Gabimaru is again tied, and multiple attempts are made to kill him, including burning him, but he survives every attack. That night, when Sagiri again asks him about his background, he reveals that he doesn't know much about his parents except the incident when the village chief killed them. He was then taken by the chief, where he was trained as a shinobi, a person who kills on order. Once Gabimaru tried to evade the village, but he was caught. However, he refuses to disclose why he tried to evade the village. The next morning, Gabimaru's legs are tied up with the feet of two bulls in each direction. The plan is to make bulls run, and when they run, they will tear apart Gabimaru's body from between his legs. However, as the bulls run, he pulls them with extreme force, causing them to fall. Everyone is again surprised, and Sagiri goes to him. Gabimaru claims that he is not resisting his death, and Sagiri is skeptical about it. She asks him again why he tried to evade the village, and now he reveals his story. Gabimaru tells her that he was married to the daughter of the chief, he was sick of her attitude, as she used to behave extra mannerly with great observance of rules and etiquette. When Gabimaru tried to escape the village and shinobi, he was betrayed by his friends, and now he is facing the punishment of being executed, although every time someone tries to kill him, he survives. Later at night, Sagurai walks with a villager who informs her about Gabimaru, known as Gabimaru the Hollow, a notorious murderer. The villager also shares a rumor that the shinobi of Iwagakure consume an elixir of life, a medicine for immortality. Sagiri wonders why someone who desires death would use their superhuman abilities to resist it. On the other hand, Gabimaru plans to let the people execute him in the morning, as he finds no purpose to live. In the morning, the executioners take Gabimaru to the women's quarters. Surprisingly, Sagiri is revealed to be a sword tester and proficient executioner from Edo. Sagiri confirms that she is known for executing criminals with a single blow. Gabimaru is first surprised but breaks his wooden cuffs out of fear. Sagiri tries to behead him, but he evades her strike. This makes her sense that Gabimaru has an attachment to life, despite his claims of not resisting his death. Sagiri believes he has strong feelings for his wife. In a clash of swords between Gabimaru and Saguri, a flashback occurs. Gabimaru's wife tells him that he is not a hollow person, but someone who has become accustomed to witnessing cruelty. She believes he is kind and wishes they could live an ordinary life. She kisses Gabimaru, and he blushes, proving her point that he is not devoid of emotions. It is revealed that Gabimaru wanted to leave his life as a killer behind, so that he and his wife could lead a peaceful existence. He discussed this with the village chief, ultimately leading to his execution. Before Gabimaru strikes Sagiri, she presents him with a scroll containing a pardon. This is how the clash of swords ends, and Sagiri promises him full protection and freedom in exchange for a task. She asks him to travel to the underworld, to an island called Shinsankyo, and find the elixir of life there. If Gabimaru wishes to reunite with his wife, he must travel to Shinsankyo. The men who have arranged the execution turn against her after hearing this proposal, which prompts Gabimaru to showcase his ninjutsu skills, and he instantly kills all of them except their boss, who is also scared. Gabimaru accepts Sagiri's offer because he wants to reunite with his wife. She then reveals they will first head to Edo for undisclosed reasons, despite Gabimaru's reservations. Sagiri encounters a flashback where she witnesses a beheading as a child. The person to be executed was a storyteller, while the executioner was her father. When her father beheaded the man, the sword's blow was so smooth and painless that the storyteller completed his story even after his head was separated. He didn't feel the pain of death. In the present, she executes a criminal and seems afraid after doing it. A fellow swordsman named Aizen advises her to overcome her doubt and fear to become a better swordsman. Sagiri ponders how she can eliminate doubt and fear from her heart, much like her father. Gabimaru and Sagiri arrive at Edo to meet the shogun and military leader. Tokugawa Nariyoshi and many other condemned criminals are also there. They are blindfolded, and a man informs the criminals about their mission to visit the island, Shinsenkyo, and retrieve the elixir of life. Whoever can find the elixir of life will get an official pardon and won't be beheaded. Spies, the man providing information about their mission, reveals the consequences faced by a recent soldier who returned from the island in search of the elixir of life, and he is not a human anymore. After he returned from the expedition, several lumps were created on his body, and then flowers bloomed from those lumps, turning the man into a lifeless body with flowers on it. 60 other soldiers who went on the same expedition are missing. He warns the criminals of potential dangers on the island, prompting some of the criminals to express concerns and refuse to complete the task as they thought Shinsenkyo was more like a paradise. This leads one of the criminals to flee, but Aizen beheads him instantly. Another man explains that the criminals will be assigned monitors from the Yamada clan, a group of executioners who will accompany them to Shinsenkyo. If any criminal acts out on the island, they will be executed on the spot. They will also be executed if their assigned monitor dies, either accidentally or intentionally. Surprisingly, it is revealed that only a selected number of criminals must attend the trip, which prompts a criminal named Chube to start killing others to reduce the number. The criminals engage in a brutal brawl to eliminate the weaker ones. Gabimaru, on the other hand, remains passive, not moving a muscle, sitting calmly in the atmosphere of utter chaos. Meanwhile, Sagiri's ally Aizen expresses concern for her well-being and warns her that she will be exposed to harm just like the criminals and questions if she can kill people. They argue about Sagiri's suitability for the role, suggesting she should participate in more feminine affairs. Sagiri responds that she would if she could. In a flashback, it is revealed that Sagiri's father belonged to the Yamada clan and used to behead people with a single blow. As his daughter, she had to adopt the same profession to make a living from people's deaths. Sagiri acknowledges that one can try to ignore this path, but it will always follow them. During the discussion, one of the criminals overhears Sagiri and Aizen and attempts to murder Sagiri and take her sword. Despite her hesitation, Sagiri executes the criminals with her blade. However, fear and doubt weigh her down. Gabimaru approaches Shogun and the other men beside him, expressing his belief that killing people is never justified. He requests an alternative method to remove people from the trip, arguing that not all criminals are killing by choice. Some of them are killing others just to survive. Hearing this, one of the men orders a criminal to kill Gabimaru, promising him a spot on the trip if he succeeds. Gabimaru attempts to reason with the criminal, but the criminal remains determined to kill him. Although Gabimaru doesn't want to take lives, he states that he had reasons to live and begins assassinating the criminals in the most brutal way possible. Aizen, Sagiri, and other men are surprised to see the brutality shown to him, which makes them believe that he really is hollow when it comes to killing people. The men call off the battle and announce the 10 criminals attending the expedition. Gabimaru, Sagiri, and the others arrive at Shinsenkyo by boat. Gabimaru and Sagiri eventually reach the island, where Gabimaru begins finding the elixir of life. However, he asks to untie his hands, to which Sagiri refuses. She reminds him she is not his ally and will execute him if necessary. Hence his hands will be bound because this is the rule that all criminals must follow. Suddenly, one of the criminals named Kiyan attacks Gabimaru and he thinks Gabimaru is dead. However, he gets up and notices that Kiyan's hands are not bound, so Sagiri questions his executioner, Kishu, about it. Kishu tells Gabimaru and Sagiri that finding the elixir of life is the priority and that if the criminals want their hands to be untied, that's fine. Meanwhile, Ki-kyun is infuriated by Gabimaru's strength and wants to kill him. The executioners won't stop them if a criminal kills his fellow. This way, a criminal can kill all other fellows and ultimately have plenty of time to find the elixir of life. Gabimaru tries to convince his opponent that fighting would be a waste of time, but Kion believes it's best to eliminate opponents now and search for the elixir later. Sagiri urges Gabimaru to bind his hands and they fight. Gabimaru defeats him, and then Kishu beheads Kiyun, emphasizing that the monitors must return the criminals' heads if they die. On the other hand, Izan dies from being eaten by his criminal. Kyo then warns Sagiri that unexpected events will occur as criminals and monitors continue to die. He shares a rumor that this mission will determine the next head of the Yamada clan. Kisho then leaves and Gabimaru attacks Sagiri because he thinks Sagiri is the only hindrance on his way to meet his wife. In a flashback, the village chief shows Gabimaru a deceased family, arguing that love between parents and children signifies weakness. Sagiri and Gabimaru engage in combat, although Sagiri remains rigid about following the rules. Gabimaru emphasizes Kishu's advice about prioritizing the elixir of life. Despite considering Sagiri a hindrance in his way and the fact that he is overpowering the fight, Gabimaru hesitates to kill her. He is confused as to why he doesn't want to kill her. And then he encounters the memories of his wife, telling him that it's okay not to have the desire to kill. Eventually, Gabimaru confesses that he has grown tired of murdering and feels nothing when he does it. He attempts to kill Sagiri, but memories of his wife prevent him. Gabimaru worries that his weakness will prevent him from reuniting with his wife. Sagiri can't fully understand Gabimaru, but she can see the reflection of her fearful emotions in his character. The fact that she also hesitates to kill others makes her realize that her emotions are similar to Gabimaru's. She gets up and says Gabimaru is no longer the heartless killer he once was. Further, she tells him that if there was someone else who would have tried to kill his executioner, he might have been dead up till now, but Sagiri won't kill him as she can see her emotions in his character. Meanwhile, another criminal, Tamiya, and his monitor, Fuchi, stumble upon strange scenery, and Tamiya is infected by a butterfly with a human face. In response, a lump creates on his hand. But before it spreads to his entire body, he chops off his hand. The chopped off hand then transforms into a plant-like substance with many flowers, similar to what happened to the person who returned from Shinsenkyo. Suddenly, weird creatures appear on the island, and all the criminals and executioners, including Gabimaru and Sagiri, prepare for combat. A flashback involving Tamiya is shown when Tamiya visits a lord named Tatsumi, who wants Tamiya to become his officer. Tatsumi welcomes Tamiya into his building, but doubts his ability to slay a dragon. Tamiya chops up the dragon statue on Tatsumi's gate to prove his strength. In the present, Tamiya makes fun of his monitor Fuchi for making a living by merely killing people. However, Fuchi draws his sword and warns Tamiya not to speak ill of his people, as those who belong to Yamada clan are much more valuable to society than criminals. Tamiya then shares his plan to eliminate the other criminals before searching for the elixir of life. When they enter the island, they face numerous butterflies with human faces and many other weird creatures. Tamiya and Gabimaru's group fight the monster inhabitants of Shinsenkyo, where Gabimaru faces off against a fish monster. He remembers the teachings of his former master and thinks whether he should leave Sagiri and run away. However, Gabimaru powers up and unleashes his supernatural techniques, defeating the monsters before them. Gabimaru senses danger and saves Sagiri before a monster kills her, despite his initial inclination to prioritize his survival. As he carries Sagiri in his arms, another monster is about to kill them. Fortunately, another criminal named Yuzuria and her two monitors come to their aid. Gabimaru and Sagiri are confused about why Yuzuria has two monitors and why they decided to help them. Yuzuria reassures Gabimaru, attempting to seduce him into assisting her. Gabimaru wrestles Yuzuria to the ground and tells her that her tricks won't work on him. Yuzuria apologizes and suggests that traveling in a group of 5 would be safer. Seguri asks Yuzuriha why she has two executioners with her, and Genji, a fellow executioner, confirms that he was originally assigned to the criminal Makia. However, Makia died because Yuzuriha deceived him by seducing him. Genji felt a single executioner couldn't control her, so he accompanied Yuzuriha with her monitor, Senta. Sagiri expresses her willingness to work together as she has no objections. Although Gabimaru hesitates, Yuzuriha states that he can offer his strength in exchange for her. She reveals that the real threat is not the monsters, but the bugs with human faces. Yuzuriha obtained this information from Makia before killing him. She tied him up with a tree and tried several experiments on him, from which she collected much information. Eventually, Makia died, but now Yuzuriha has the information about the island that can be necessary for one's survival. Senta explains that many monsters feature Buddhist or Taoist designs. These two are different religions, and seeing a mixture of them on this island is very strange. When Gabimaru asks Yuzuriha why she is so desperate to survive, Yuzuriha laughs and states that she doesn't need a reason to want to survive and return home. She just doesn't want to die at such a young age. Gabimaru asks Yuzuriha how she killed Makia, and Yuzuriha warns him not to worry about others. He then accepts Yuzuriha's partnership, but reminds her that they are merely fighting together, not cooperating. Sagiri watches Gabimaru discuss things with Yuzuriha and feels purposeless and powerless as she thinks she hasn't contributed much since her arrival on the island. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to another executioner named Tuma and a criminal duo who are surprisingly brothers. Tuma and the criminal Shobei fight against monsters as a team. Tuma reveals that Shobei's strength is understanding and adapting to situations rapidly. That's why Shobei can understand these monsters and kill them in the blink of an eye. After slaughtering the beasts, Shobei intends to eliminate every monster, criminal, and executioner on the island to secure the elixir. After they achieve the elixir of life, they both consume it and live forever.